Thank you, Ian, for that introduction, and hello to everyone. My name is Kellington Kituku. I lead the public sector business for Microsoft in East Africa. Today, I'm joined by my friend and partner, the CTO at Box Fusion, Mr. Julius Segole. And today, we're going to be talking about smart government services. Now, at Microsoft, we have a mission in terms of empowering every person and organization on the planet to achieve more. And when it comes to government, we really endeavor to be that true partner to government. When we think about transformation in government and across our customers as well, we normally think about it in 4 key areas, where we think about how can we engage our citizens for government, how can we optimize our operations, how can we empower the employees, because we believe that an empowered employee can indeed be able to change the level of service that we are able to provide for our customers, and finally, how we're able to transform the products and services that we provide. Now, in this, we do see that there is an interrelation between the actions and the data that we are able to get across any solutions that we are able to provide for our customers. We believe that it is a two-way channel in terms of how are the services that we are providing, how is that being consumed by the end customers, and eventually how are we able to improve that? And that shows you the connection between data collected via feedback in terms of the services being consumed, how we're able to convert that data into intelligence that then informs the actions that we're able to take. A key thing that you will note for any service that we are able to provide to our users, there is always feedback coming in. A good example is you can imagine a citizen using e-services online. Are we able to collect the type of telemetry and experience that they're getting to enable us in terms of being able to transform and improve that particular service? Or, for example, the forms that typically most government offices normally provide for citizens to be able to fill in, to be able to provide, to be able to receive and consume services. Are we able to get any feedback coming from those channels? And as you see, data and intelligence really become the center of how services can be consumed and improved to essentially be able to provide a better service and experience for our customers. So in Microsoft, we're leveraging these particular capabilities of enhanced feedback loop with data and intelligence at the center. We can see that can transform into a myriad and a plethora of services that can be consumed, from how we engage our citizens, be it through modern platforms, centralized citizen identity, distributed identity, service and agent bots, which they can actually leverage. When it comes to optimizing operations, we can see how can we have digital case management, virtual assistant, and even you think about with the recent pandemic around COVID, where this really became the center of really changing how services were being delivered, not only across corporate world, but as well as government. Working virtually became really, really essential. Again, I did mention that empowered employees can really be the difference. So how can we have virtual government services? How can we provide video interactions for them being able to deliver services? How do we provide for integrated collaboration across various government agencies and or teams? How do we ensure also we have good government worker development? Because while we are digitally transforming, it's important to ensure that we do not leave the government workers behind, and we ensure that they are well skilled and enabled to be able to provide their functions. And then ultimately, it's important for us to think about how do we transform those services for our customers. It's important to think about how can we have government workflow orchestration, whereby now we're shifting from paper-based services to more digitalized services. How can we do predictive service delivery? How can our counties and government agencies be able to predict the services and wants of the citizens, so that we can also be very intuitive in terms of how we provide citizens services? And I believe if we're able to do that, it puts us in a very good position in terms of citizen satisfaction and also being able to provide very good services. At the center of this will definitely be powered by data and intelligence. So how do we do data-driven government insights, decision making? This becomes really valuable, such a way we are able to plan adequately for our citizens. And it's always better to be able to show rather than talk about it. And I would really like to invite Julius from Box Fusion to actually be able to walk us through where this type of platform has actually been deployed and is actually driving impact for one of our customers. So over to you, Julius.
Thank you, Kellington. That was a very nice introduction and a good way to start our conversation, laying the foundation in terms of how Microsoft sees its a role in the transformation of government. And we had taken two of some of these developments within Microsoft and made a point that we develop solutions based on Microsoft technology that bring about a change in public sector. I'm going to take you through a quick introduction of our company. And as soon as I've done that, I'll take you through some of the products which we have built in line with what Kellington presented to you. And thereafter, we can take Q&A and maybe talk about some of the examples that or implementations we've done nationwide. Box Fusion is a public sector leader in digital transformation with over 13-year track record in over 70 public entities in South Africa mostly. We do have some implementations across Africa, in Ghana, as well as in Nigeria, but these were like one-off projects we did with our partners. And the partners, as you would have seen there, we've got Vodacom, who's been our most partner we've had a good rapport with, and Telkom, and as well as MTN have recently found the niche in our product and have agreed to take our products like Vodacom to the market. Our biggest and most important partner being Microsoft, with whom we not only utilizing their technologies, but we are also making our solutions available on Azure and Marketplace to take them to our customers. We've been in the beginning of our establishment a 90% public, so 100% public sector organization. We understood the difficulties and challenges faced by government, and we wanted to build solutions that would work for government. And our success in implementing those in 70 departments speaks for itself. However, over time, private sector has taken interest, and we're seeing a lot of private sector clients taking some of our products, especially around employee engagement, which Kellington spoke about when we were speaking about what companies should be doing out there, or public sector should be doing out there to offer services to their citizens. In terms of products, we at Smartgov, so at Box Fusion, have built a product called Smartgov. It comes with 4 product suites. The first one being Smartgov for Admin, and here this is where we digitize government back office processes. Kellington spoke about optimizing the operations. This was our first take on digitization of government. We understand that the bureaucracy that government has to follow is not by just chance, it's by design, because government has to be accountable and transparent, and it tends to therefore move slow. And if we can digitize some of these processes, we can improve government accountability and the rate at which it delivers services. And in particular, these are processes that are quite common across all government departments in HR, finance, supply chain, and other general admin functions. And then we started working on delivering products that are geared towards citizens. And in this space, we've got the Smartgov for Citizens, which is a platform to enhance citizen engagement and access to service from government, making it possible for the citizens to access government through multiple channels. Most importantly, mobile, seeing that smartphones have become pervasive and almost everyone has access to a smartphone. There's mobile apps that people are interacting with on a daily basis, and government should take advantage thereof. And as well, to continue to optimize government's operations and transform how government interacts with citizens, it's important that we not only automate government and engagement with citizens and back office operations in the admin, but also the vertical sectors within government, be it education, be it health, that we have built products and capabilities in the form of case management that can be tailor-made for those verticals. And another niche area that we've been taking good intention on is the Smartgov for Health. I will take you through quickly how we have gone about using Microsoft technologies to build our Smartgov solutions. First and foremost, it became clear with time that government projects tend to take longer because the time required to understand what government needs, and then to build a system, and then to acquire the hardware and software to deploy it, and then build it and deploy it, can take forever and can sometimes dissuade some entities and government departments from embarking on projects, or if they embark on projects, they tend to fail. So we took advantage of Microsoft Azure, and we put together a rich set of Microsoft Azure services to build products for government, but also to run those products on Azure itself. Our solutions are built on .NET framework. We use ASP.NET to build the products. And when we run them, we will typically have a Azure implementation of the solution with load balancing, the ability to ensure that the security, as well as application servers that are web-based, that enable government solutions to be deployed speedily, and that there's a firewall to ensure that we can protect government data, and behind which would be storage and other services that are key. We also took advantage of some of the products that come ready from Microsoft for niche capabilities that begin to make a quick difference in government. Solutions or products such as Power BI, cognitive services. We've used cognitive services to do a lot of machine learning and artificial intelligence, including the use of bots, and we'll talk to some of the implementations we've done there. And we've been able to then enable government departments to take advantage of the fourth industrial revolution. Very importantly, as I spoke to you earlier, there's a Smartgov for admin. The first 4 blocks at the top there are the solutions and modules that you find within Smartgov for administration. They are general admin, and the most important one being memo, and I'm sure everybody is familiar with the decisions that government has to make. There's always a memo. Is it a cabinet memo, a director general memo, or permanent secretary memo, depending on what their title is. But also, we've automated services in human resource, leave, recruitment, performance management, and supply chain, the ability to go out and seek quotations and manage tenders, as well as manage suppliers for purposes of ensuring that government procures from valid suppliers. And then we have other solutions in finance to improve invoice tracking of payments, as well as contract management and planning and strategy for organizational performance. Within the Smartgov for Citizens, we built 4 capabilities. The first is a mobile app we call Smart Citizen, which we can also provide via other channels such as USSD, WhatsApp, and so forth. But this is where the citizen is able to engage government. And together with a Smart Citizen, we have a product called Smart Service, which is a case management that manages all the requests, incidents, reports, and just about everything that a citizen would have logged via the Smart app, and the ability for the government field workers to be able to offer those, to respond to the requests and incidents logged by the citizens. Especially in the cold face of service delivery, it is important that you empower those that must deliver services to be able to respond and close and have a complete feedback loop between the citizen and what government does. And finally is our vertical solutions, where we have built some solutions for areas where there was a big need, using our Smartgov platform, which we've built to make it easy for us to quickly deploy and rapidly build solutions. And we've had very good successes, and we'll talk to a few case studies later on. So this is Smartgov, and these are the solutions and products that come with Smartgov. And I believe that we will do an interactive discussion now when I start to talk to you about how and which departments we have enabled. And I'd like to hand back to Kellington so that we can get into that conversation. Thanks.
Fantastic walkthrough, Julius. I'm really impressed. I think I must note that it's very interesting looking at the architecture and how you've deployed the solution in terms of how you're really taking into account the importance of security. And I believe that's normally a key tenet in terms of any system, not only across government, but any institution would really want to ensure that they're running on a very secure platform. So I really want to take note of that. And also in terms of how you also take catering for high availability. So Julius, just to take the conversation forward, so is it possible for you to share with us a place where you've actually deployed one of these solutions, and really share with us in terms of what are the problems or challenges that you were really solving for while doing this particular deployment?
Thank you, Wellington. I'm going to just start off first by showing you how we went about building a value proposition for government at a high level, and that everything we do is intended to deliver specific business impacts for government. We understood from the word-go that government challenges, whether it is in health, education, or just about every operations, have to do with certain common problems, problems leading to longer lead times. I spoke about the bureaucracy of government, the problem of missing records because they are based on paper, the inconsistent application of business processes where things may be done differently depending on who's doing them, and there's no mechanisms by which you enforce that people comply with the laws. And as a result, what you end up with is compliance failures that result in irregularities that give government a bad name. And then in the process, because it's all manual, there's a high cost to provide services to government, including the use of paper that must be constantly be produced and used and recycled, etc. And the other problem I spoke to earlier was the fact that government tends to be averse to investing in technology because of the high failure rate of projects. And we wanted to build a solution that does not require that before you can see anything up and running, you have to wait for years. We wanted to build a platform that can deploy immediate results within a short space of time, in weeks, in some cases within days. But none of our projects, for projects that we undertake, run for more than 6 months. At the worst case, if we had more customers, we would run them over 12 months. And all that we wanted to do was that Smartgov should improve turnaround time, improve visibility and accountability, enforce the rules through making sure that the digitized process has controls, reduce audit findings and the prevalence of corruption and fraud that comes with it, and do so by achieving an end-to-end digitization, thereby eliminating redundancy within processes that tends to also create unnecessary costs for government. And as I spoke earlier about building digital assets that can be reused and be deployed quite quickly. On the right-hand side are the business impacts that are, instead of going into each of them, I want to take you through one of the implementations we did for government. And this one I'm flashing on the screen, and I'll speak to a few others which are not in my presentation quickly. First and foremost, and I hope you can read everything that's on the screen now, one of the provinces in the government of South Africa called Mpumalanga was experiencing major challenges with paper-based processes, especially around leave and payments of suppliers, which often resulted in high or continuous and repeat audit findings because the government departments were not able to ensure that they can account for leave taken, they are able to pay suppliers on time. And in the process, especially around leave, there was a huge financial loss because people will take leave and government will not take account for that leave, and people are then able to claim that the days that they still have when they leave the organization. What we then decided to do was to offer them from our product suite 2 solutions that were digitized end-to-end. The first module was e-leave, and the second one was invoice tracking. We deployed e-leave to over 12 provincial departments involving 82,000 employees. We were able to do this in a pilot, just including doing your BRS and customization. We were able to do this within 2 months within one department, and then the rest of the other 12 departments we were able to roll out within a period of 5 months. So within 6 months we had completed the rollout of both e-leave as well as invoice tracking. And with invoice tracking, it was also for 12 departments, involving over 32,000 users that process invoices and paying government suppliers, not exactly 500,000, but from a database of government suppliers that's made up of 500,000 vendors. The business impact as a result of us deploying this solution was immediately visible. First and foremost, they were able to improve transparency as well as visibility and auditability of these processes, because now they are fully digitized. It is possible to know at any point in time where process is, who's doing what they did, and how the system has managed to ensure that there is no shortfalls in the process that can result in corruption and fraud. We were able to reduce the adverse findings. They used to make headlines, most of the departments in that province, especially around these two areas. With this system deployed, their audit findings started to look much better. We were able to reduce financial losses within the leave management process. We were able to ensure that suppliers, and this has been, and I'm sure it's also common across the world, is that if you don't pay your suppliers on time, they can go bust. And in South Africa, SMMEs were victims of this problem where government will take months to pay them. Suddenly, with this digitized solution, we are able to track an invoice from when it's submitted and who's sitting on it, are they missing their SLAs for processing it, and that within 30 days it is paid. So service providers started becoming liquid. We were able to reduce the cost of implementing the system. In South Africa, they've had over 12 years now been trying to replace the legacy solutions that run our HR and financial systems. But with this digitization of the solutions and integrating with the legacy, we were able to achieve what those systems that are intended to replace legacy over 12 years, and they still haven't achieved that, and billions of rands have been spent. We were able to do this within 6 months, and immediate value was seen. And obviously, this enhanced employee experience. Suddenly, they don't have to be fighting either with their employer or with their suppliers, because now they can see and process things and achieve efficiency in the way they do their work. And this also improved the relationship between government and its suppliers. So this is overall a view of one example. There are other examples, because this was a province-wide, others involve municipality, where the issues may have been problems of roads, potholes, electricity outages, and so forth, and citizens getting all upset about being able to get service from government and not being able to access government services after certain hours. We were able to use artificial intelligence using bots to provide those services via our citizen engagement app. Let me hand over back to Kellington, and perhaps we can talk more about some of those examples I've given just now.
Thank you for that very good walkthrough on this example of showing us Smartgov in action. I think this is a true testament in terms of what digitization what impact digitization can actually drive in our government, in public sector, and across businesses. And the value is actually there to be seen, and it's actually is essentially tangible. Now, just looking at the time, and I think really trying to wind up, this is quite tremendous work that you've done here, and I'd really just go straight to from Box Fusion, when you're looking at building this application. So, why did you settle in terms of building this capability on top of Microsoft Azure as a platform?
Thanks, Kellington. Quick and easy answer. Microsoft is the most widely used platform across the world. It's easy for people to work, and so for us, that was a no-brainer. But also because Microsoft has been working hard in building products that make it easy and quicker for us to develop solutions and deploy solutions, and most importantly, the Azure cloud and its availability in South Africa, the data centers that they've deployed. So this was an easy answer for us.
Really, thank you for that, Julius. Really appreciated the discussion with you today, and really sharing with everyone in terms of the great work that you're doing in terms of a provision of this amazing platform. And I think as we go through with the summit, it's definitely going to be a good opportunity for us to essentially have discussion and share more with all teams that are interested in terms of learning more about the platform. So really, thank you very much. And really looking forward to working with you in terms of supporting our partners and driving transformation across Africa, if not the world. Thank you very much, Julius.
Thank you, Kellington.